If anyone hasn't put a hello or greeting into the chat, please do. Hello, Sarita and Colin and Hanson and Tyler and Matthew. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I'm here in the studio. Like I said, it's school here. Um, and this week we're going to be doing a bunch of audio stuff. So without further ado, let me bring up the Google Classroom and start talking about our week. Okay, I'm going to go down to week 7. We're in week 7 already. Time flies. Okay, let me talk first about what's not audio, and that is Word. So you should have gotten your other Word in or get it in today. I did give you extended deadlines on these Word assignments. So if you were stuck on something or need a little extra time or whatever, you had over the weekend and into today. So do a good job on the Binder Park poster, do a good job on the tutorial. Pretty much you just follow a tutorial and make what he makes. It's that simple. And that was it. You only really had these 2 assignments last week. And then the 25 years of Photoshop was just a one-man thing to look at. So, not a big deal. Now for week 7, I'm going to start with the one thing that's not about audio, and that's this one right here. What this assignment here is quite simple. There's a tutorial down here below about inserting and formatting shapes. It's only 7 minutes long. Now, you're welcome to look up any other information you want about shapes. What are shapes? There is a feature in Microsoft Word where you can open it up and there's a menu with all kind of stuff. I mean, literally dozens of choices. And there are different types of lines and arrows and rectangles and circles. When you start, actually, there's not a circle. It's called an oval. And if you hold down the shift key, you can make a perfect circle using the oval tool. Just like there's no square, there's a rectangle. But if you hold down the shift key, you can make a perfect square out of the rectangle tool. There are stars and call outs and all kind of little features under shapes. So shapes are used for all kind of things. And one of the things is once you learn how to use shapes in Microsoft Word, the same shapes and the same features pop up in PowerPoint and pop up in Excel. So that's one of the nice things. Once you learn how to use it, it looks the same in the other programs. If it exists, not every feature exists in every program. So, but Shapes does. So you're going to be opening up a new Word document. You're going to be doing these shapes. You're going to do 2 lines of different styles and colors. What is a style? That means there are different ways you can make a line. Some got arrow tips on the end and that. Some got different weights, like they're wider and thicker than other ones are. So I want a couple of lines, show you know how to make a few different lines and make them different colors. Then we got 2 rectangles. And now when you get to a fill is like in the case of a rectangle, you can have one color that fills up everything in the middle of the rectangle and a different color for the line that goes around it. So you could have blue in the middle and then a red all the way around it or something like that. So I want you to get comfortable with not just the shapes and the lines, but doing fills and doing line colors. Now, a line doesn't have a fill because it's just a line. So it is a line color you can change. But anything that would have a fill would be like a rectangle, oval, circle, triangle, things like that. Now you're gonna make 2 different styles, thicknesses, styles, colors, things like that of lines. You're gonna do this where rectangles, you're gonna make at least 2 different ones that look different, feel different, got different lines around them, different colors. Same thing with the circles or ovals. You're gonna make 2 different ones with some different fills and colors. And then at least 6 or more other shapes. And there's a whole lot to choose from. They're really easy to work with. They got stars and all kind of stuff on there. So you can just pick some different shapes and try them out. And that's it. Not too hard. So you're going to have, when you're all done, at least 14 shapes or lines of various colors and fill colors. This will demonstrate you know how to work with lines and shapes in Microsoft Word. And these skills will be about the same in PowerPoint and Excel, which means when you get to PowerPoint and Excel in the future, you already know how to do those features. You can also custom edit the fills. Oh, they're doing scheduling. Head down to the library with your laptop and your PowerSchool login if you have not already registered. And juniors with last names S through Z in the cafeteria Okay, if you go ahead and hear that, there's scheduling. Okay, and then custom edit the fills and line colors all different. So I want to see a mix of line colors and fill colors. So when you do these different shapes, like rectangles and circles and things like that, do different fills, do different line colors. Okay, mix it up. So that's it. You just watch this here. You can always look at some other tutorials that click around, try out some different ones. It's really easy. Okay. Now everything else about audio. The first thing we're going to do is this audio assignment here. You watch 3 videos where they talk about things like microphones and that. So there, one is 1 minute, one's 17 minutes, and one's 3 minutes. So it's about 21 minutes worth of videos, and you got a little assignment to go with it. Watch them, do the assignment, and you should be fine. Okay, starting a podcast, a guide for students. This is another assignment. You're actually going to go to this website, and I have an assignment that takes you through parts of it. So it should be pretty self-explanatory when finished. Okay. And then to wrap it all up, you're going to actually make an audio project. You can make a podcast where you're doing like news and information or interviewing somebody or something like that. And you can do, well, it gives you some options here. If you want to mix some music in there and do some music stuff, you can do that also. So when you're all done, you can use any software you want, any device you want. You can use your phone, you can use a tablet, you can use your school computer. There's a lot of options out there. You can use whatever software you want. So I'm giving you a lot of flexibility. And some of you already are like, Mr. Rio, we do audio. We understand audio. No problem. This is easy. And others of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, I got to do an audio project. I've never done one before. So look over the guidelines. Let me know if there's any problems, things that you don't have or whatever. I gave some suggested topics. Okay. Music podcast. You have a variety of ways you can do this. When you finish making your audio project, this is the one you're going to edit. It can be a simple podcast. Now, a podcast can be talking about anything that's school appropriate within reason. So if you're into skateboarding, you can talk about skateboarding. You can do it by yourself, you can do it with a friend. If you're into something else, you can do a podcast on about anything. You do a podcast about camping. You do a podcast about politics. You can do a podcast about video games. You can do podcasts about all kind of topics. So pick a topic you're somewhat familiar with. Plan out at least a little bit what you're going to talk about. If you want to have a guest on there, that's fine. If you figure out a way to record it, and then record it. And you can look up software for your school laptop. You can maybe you can use existing software you have. You can download free software if you look around. You can I can probably share more about this tomorrow. So think if you got any questions or if you have trouble coming up with any audio software you can do this on. A lot of people just like to use their phones. If you have an iPhone, you can get GarageBand or other audio editor and import and edit some songs or some talking or whatever it may be. Okay. So you're going to actually make a project. Now you can also make a music project. If you got capability to make some music using a software, you can do that too. Now we're not talking long here. We're not talking 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We're talking like 1 minute or 2 minutes. Okay. So you can just put something together, whether it be a podcast or music editing, multiple tracks, some, if it, titles, things like that. You can check out this assignment and figure out which best will work for you. Okay, that's pretty much it as far as giving you an overview of what we're doing this week. So it's going to be, I forgot to mention, I think I did the microphones. If I forgot to mention it, there's an assignment intro. Yeah. Okay. Yep. They got some stuff in here about audio and microphones and that. I think I did talk about that. And I shared with you about you can get microphones for your phone. I'm going to undo this here. Okay. So stuff like this you can get for your phones. You don't need that. There is a built-in microphone on your phone or your school computer or your own computer or however you want to do it. If you do got, like a couple of you said, that you or your dads have a USB mic at home or something like that, that'd work even better. So I'm giving you a fair amount of flexibility. Just do a good faith effort and do a good job. If you're doing a podcast, here's what I would have. I'd have a little jingle music at the beginning, and there's a lot of places you can find that kind of music online, including YouTube. Then I would go into my main topic. It could just be me. It could be me and a guest. And then I would do that for at least a minute. And then I could have my guest back on, talk to her a little more about her day or what she's doing or what she's up to, and wrap that up. So there's a lot of ways you can do something like this, or you can do music mixing if you're into that. I'm not opposed to that. It's a little more complicated. Not everyone got musical training to do it, but if that interests you, you can do that. So that's the audio stuff we're going to do this week. Okay, is there any questions about anything? Okay, sounds like some of you got some nice microphones there to work with. So have some fun with this. Okay, do an audio project, edit it. Now, how do you share it with me? You can just share the audio file you can upload. The closest thing to kind of like a YouTube for audio might be SoundCloud. So if you can get in SoundCloud and share a link with me, that's okay. But you don't have to do that. You can just send me an audio file. Okay. Okay. Without any further ado, if you got questions, hang around here and tell me. And if not, everyone have a good day. Get out there, enjoy the slightly cooler weather today, but it'll be back warm here soon. Okay. So take care, everybody. See you from class. Enjoy this stuff this week with the audio. Have some fun with it. Make some stuff. Yep. Take care, Tyler and Sarita and Hanson and